Well, hello, everyone. Thank you for being with us today. I'd like to welcome each of you to another FranTastic InSights video segment, whereby we introduce you to some very prominent personalities, all of whom have a very positive impact on the ever-growing world of franchising. My name is David Craghead. I'm the Chief Franchise Expansion Officer for FranServe and also for the Franchise Dictionary magazine. And today I'll be your host for this week's FranTastic InSights social media segment. FranServe, for those of you who may not be familiar with us, is recognized as the world's largest franchise consulting and expansion organization. We have a very simple mission statement, and that is we change people's lives in a very positive way through franchise ownership. And we do that through a network of incredible franchise brands in 42 different industry categories. Our growth initiatives are supported by a growing portfolio of franchise consultants. The industry often refers to them as brokers. They're all the same people. They're all of whom are dedicated to helping their clients explore franchise opportunities, which are deemed to be a perfect match for their individual search criteria. And today I'd like to introduce you to Mr. Nathan Pearce. He's the CEO of Pearce Bespoke Franchising, headquartered in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Pearce Bespoke Franchising is let me describe it as a modernized traveling tailor service with no inventory, no retail store, no brick and mortar. They are best described as a mobile business in a trunk. So Nathan, thank you very much for joining us today. And as I pass the microphone over to you, please share your business model description and your latest perspective on Pearce Bespoke Franchising.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me on. Nathan Pearce, founder and CEO of Pearce Bespoke Franchising out of Baton Rouge. We are a modernized traveling tailor service. We have no inventory, no retail store. We're a business in a trunk. So we send out our clothiers. It's all appointment driven. We take 25 measurements from the neck down of our clients. Clothes are super fast, coming in 2 to 3 week delivery times. We're one of the fastest in the country. It's a big margin product, and we pride ourselves on quality. We pride ourselves on affordability, and it's some of the things that kind of set us apart from the competition.
Okay. And if you could describe your company's culture in one snapshot sentence, what would that be?
I think it would be passionate. We have very passionate employees that all row in the same direction. Every time someone gets on a call with our employees, they can tell that they live, they breathe, they're excited about what we do. So I would say fun, passionate, motivated, and we're all rowing in the same direction.
Very good. I noticed on your website that you promote something called the Perfect Fit Guarantee. Can you elaborate on that just a bit, Nathan?
Absolutely. So essentially what that means is when we take 25 measurements from the neck down on our clients and make this true bespoke clothing, it means that we're going to deliver it the way our clients want it to fit. And for a lot of customers, that means multiple things. And my line is, we fit everyone from pro athletes to politicians. And it paints a picture of our politicians like a looser, more classic fit. Our pro athletes like them skin tight. They don't want to be able to breathe. And we do everything in between. We make the clothes how you want them to fit. It's one of the things that sets us apart from the competition. We do this by asking questions. So when we bring the garment in, we do what we call a try on or a fitting. We put the garment on our customers and then we ask them, what would you change about this garment? Do you want it tighter in the sleeve? Do you want it looser in the thigh? And then we make those accommodations for the client so they don't even have to think about it.
Very good. How would you describe the perfect franchisee for your company?
So for the owner-operator model, it would be looks the part and good at sales, some kind of sales background. You don't need clothing experience. You don't need to know how to sew. I think that's one of the misconceptions that we kind of take on pretty quickly in our conversations. But we want someone that looks the part. And you and I talked about this a second ago. One of the first things people do when you tell them you make clothing, they look you up and down. So if you don't take care of yourself, if you don't look the part, if you don't dress the part, you're probably not going to get the order. So sales background of any kind and looking the part. That's what we look for on owner-operator. For the absentee model, we still want you to look the part, but we want you to have good managerial experience or some managerial experience. Again, you want to tell people you want a custom clothing franchise from Pearce Bespoke. We want you to them to look you up and down and go, okay, that makes sense.
Very good. Thank you. Appreciate you being so thorough with your answers. That helps quite a bit, especially for me that are understanding the insights of what you have to offer. What is the typical ramp up time for one of your franchisees from signing of the franchise agreement to ribbon cutting?
Fast. And it's the beauty in the mobile concept where there's no brick and mortar, no inventory, essentially no overhead. You're looking at 4 to 6 weeks from the time you sign to the time you're open and rented.
Very fast. Okay. And for the new franchisee, what is the best, most effective way for them to create new clients?
Great question. So 2 ways. We're mainly an event-based business. So what this means is we set up at conferences, expos, summits, associations. You think of like a bar association. Every state has one. Nationwide, there is one. We set up where the money is, and then we catch that foot traffic that's walking by. We have a speakeasy themed mobile fashion bar is a good way to describe it. It's an attention getter. So when you walk by this thing, you can't help but stop and check it out. But that's the future of Pearce Bespoke. We set up at events, we grab the foot traffic. Easiest, fastest way to catch leads is to be dressed similarly to the way I am right now. And when people are walking by, they go, that's a pretty nice suit. Let me come check this out.
Very good. It is a nice suit. I love the color.
Thank you.
Tell me, Nathan, what effects, if any, is the current economy having on your business?
So I think the beauty in what we do with the mobile theme and the lack of inventory is it gives our franchisees and the clothiers the upper hand. They're not stressing over a big lease or a long-term lease and big overhead and big rents. They're not stressing over in payroll even, because most of our employees are 1099. All of our sales guys are 1099. So in terms of trends, brick and mortar, mom and pop, they can't really compete with us. We don't have the overhead that they have. We have bigger margins than they have. And then again, we're faster than they are. So our argument is, why would you buy off the rack when you can buy from us? In terms of trends, our sales actually grew during COVID. A lot of that had to do with convenience that we create. By coming to our client, we're saving them time. They have so many hours in a day. Busy professionals are our ideal demographic, our ideal target. They have so many hours in the day. So if we can make their lives more convenient by coming to them, they're going to pick us every single time versus a shopping experience in a store.
Okay, very good. Are you forecasting any significant changes to your business model over the next 2 to 3 or 4 years?
In terms of business model, no. We will be adding on products. We will be adding on fabrics, keep things new, keep things fresh, keep our customers coming back for more. But in terms of the industry, it's booming and it's growing. We're projecting, and it just came out, it's looking at about a 4% growth year over year for the next 5 years in custom. And the reasons for that: no inventory. You don't have retail stores to worry about. You make it to order. Instead of buying inventory, we can just show swatches. So the industry is trending in the direction that we've already built our entire franchise model off of, which is custom.
One of the first questions a new franchise applicant often asks us is to describe to them how you create your territories. What are the design metrics of one of your territories?
So one territory is about 200,000 population. It's based on zip codes. So we get on our mapping software and we let our candidates pick out which zip codes that are connected that equate to that 200,000 population. And what we'll overlay is median income in those zip codes and the amount of businesses in those zip codes. Those two things are what equal a great territory, or what you want to look at to build a territory off of for our mobile concept.
Okay, thank you. Do you have what we often refer to as very desirable or hot territories around the country that you would like our consultants to focus on for your growth?
We do. California, we just got registration. So the entire state of California, I see being a hotbed. San Francisco, San Diego, Los Angeles, you can't go wrong in California. But Nashville's a big one. We've got several candidates looking at it right this second. I think that, Florida's been hot. We've sold a lot of territories there this year. But I could see Nashville, Arizona, so Phoenix, Scottsdale. Again, we have a couple of people looking, but those are hotbeds for us. I see anywhere in California being really a good focal point for your brokerage right now.
Okay, and I noticed, well, actually, you mentioned that a new applicant for Pearce Bespoke does not need to know how to thread a needle or to sew a straight stitch, but what characteristics should they bring to the table? What are you looking for in terms of really good qualifications?
Good qualifications would be, and we talked about this a second ago, a sales background. If you know how to sell, usually you know how to tell other people how to sell. So the beauty in this is we help you find the salespeople in an absentee model. We help you find the sales managers in an absentee model. We pass them over to our candidates or our franchisees so that they can look for the cultural aspect and make sure they get along and they can build culture in their franchise unit. But sales experience is huge. Managerial experience for the absentee is also huge. But looking the part, making sure that you take care of yourself, making sure that you put effort in the morning to make yourself look presentable when you go out into the world. That's the big thing that we look for. We can teach you the rest.
Speaking of teaching, can you give us a snapshot view of what your in-house training looks like, as well as the training that an applicant will receive in the field?
Because of our recent growth, we've recently moved our training to our headquarters in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. We have an awesome setup at this private club with a bunch of speakeasy bars inside of it. It's a 5-day training where we bring the franchisees, clothiers, and managers in. We teach them how to measure. We teach them how to sell. We teach them how to dress. We teach them how to tell people what goes with what for style training. We teach them terminology. What's an inset pocket? What's a patch pocket? What's a peak lapel? And what's a notch lapel? So terminology is big. And then we get into the technology side. So how to run our POS system. We have accounting training for the franchisees and the business owners. But it is a very thorough breakdown of everything they need to know to be successful from every single position within that franchise.
Okay. Nathan, once again, thank you for being so thorough with your answers. That really helps us to understand what your business model has to offer. And if there's one takeaway from this interview today that we may not have touched on, what would you want our viewers to know about your brand that we may not have yet discussed?
I always like to leave people super excited. So I think to kind of inspire everybody, I like to talk about some of the deals that we're doing right now on the B2B side with our franchises. So one of the things that sets us apart is we're a younger company. We're shaking up this old school traveling tailor service. It's been around for forever. And we think that's kind of cool. And it's the way we market. So we're doing NIL deals with universities all over the United States right now. LSU right in our backyard is a big one. We fit all the football players, the football coaches. We have a lot of pro athletes that buy from us. And I tell our candidates, it's not Nathan Pearce from Pearce Bespoke fitted Jay Sean Tate and Eli Manning and the LSU football players. It's we. So every time we help a new franchisee on board and we help them find salespeople and clothing managers, they get to say we fitted Eli Manning. We fitted Jay Sean Tate, captain of the Houston Rockets, who, by the way, just bought a 5-pack in Houston, Texas. So these pro athletes not only wear our suits, they're now buying our franchises. And I think it's a cool group to be involved with. And it's something that's super exciting. So the B2B aspect, NIL deals, casinos, country clubs, yacht clubs, cigar lounges, this doesn't feel like work. It's a fun, feel-good business. And I think those are few and far between in the franchise world.
Okay. Well, Nathan, no one can deny your passion. We can feel your passion. We can see your passion. So that helps us a lot to convey that feeling over to our clients through our franchise consultants. And Nathan, I'd like to thank you for the privilege of your time today. You've been a great person to speak with. And this entire interview will be posted on the FranServe support site. It'll also be archived in the FranServe library, and it'll also be uploaded to Instagram, YouTube, to Facebook, and LinkedIn. So with that, we will adjourn today's FranTastic InSights recording. Nathan, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Y'all have a good one.
Take care.